What's up, people? 49-17 is our final. I stopped keeping track after it was, 42 nothing. But Graham, they played hard in the fourth quarter, so that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's the standard that Billy has shown us and Scott Strickland has shown us, and yada yada yada. And look, I got to get out in front of something, and I just told Dylan this offline before we started. Because last couple of weeks, I got to admit, I've been wishy-washy. Napier's kind of been winning me back slowly but surely. I've sort of been creeping over into the, hey, maybe let's keep him. Let's maybe kind of see where this thing goes. They're building some momentum. They're starting to play well. DJ Lagway, Jaden Baugh, some of the young guys making plays. Cormani McLean sighting last couple of weeks. And I'm like, okay, maybe they got something. Maybe these young guys are here. Dylan, if you and the rest of the Fire Billy Napier train will have me back, if I can come back to the bandwagon, if you would humbly allow me back on the train, I would love that. I'll accept any punishment you need me to do. I'll accept any shame you need me to do. Whatever I got to do, if you'll have me, I would like to be back on the train because I don't know what the hell I just watched, and nothing I just watched gives me any hope to believe that this future's bright whatsoever.
Dude, they play at home the next 2 weeks. Like, they have to go back to Gainesville and play an Ole Miss team that's probably going to compete with Georgia and an LSU team that's going to compete pretty well with Alabama. Like, this is where it gets really tough. And we knew this was going to be tough. But, I mean, down to all the injuries you have and all this DJ Lagway stuff of him throwing the ball in the pregame, having a chance to play, dude, I never believed it for a second. And this is going to continue for the next 2 weeks. I guarantee you what's going to happen is Napier is going to go to his presser on Monday and Wednesday, and he'll say, well, Lagway, he's taking steps in the right direction, right? So we're going to be hopeful for him to play on Saturday.
We've seen incremental improvement, right?
Exactly like that. And then it'll just be, he'll go out there, he'll toss the rock 10 yards in pregame. Somebody will put something on Twitter, and then he won't be dressed. And then they'll throw, whatever quarterback out there. Hopefully they can run the ball well. The defense is going to give up 400 yards again. And, hopefully 80,000 people will show up.
Yeah. I think Dylan, I think I know what you're going to say to this. I think you're going to tell me that it wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't really matter who's in a quarterback right now. If it ain't Lagway. And I'd probably agree in a general sense. But Aiden Warner might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen put on a Gator uniform. I mean, that guy is horrendous. He reminded me of Skylar Mordenweg. And you don't want to remind me of Skylar Mordenweg. And I'm like, what in the world would, why?
Dude, listen,
look.
I would kill for Treon Harris.
Same.
I would kill for that right now.
Same. I mean, look, man. He beats out Clay Millen in fall camp or whatever. He's the third guy on the depth chart. None of us have ever heard of him, whatever. But you don't think you're gonna have to ever see him play football, right? And then obviously Mertz hurt, Lagway hurt, whatever. He's got to come in the game against Georgia. And you could say, look, they threw him in. He wasn't very good, but Georgia got a great defense. What third string's going to look very good? Whatever. They had a couple of plays early in this game that I actually thought were pretty decent play calls for Napier, which is not something you often say. He actually had a couple of good play calls that kept Texas's defense off balance a little bit and got some guys open down the field. And I don't mean like 50 yards down the field. I mean 15-yard crossers, 20 yards, that type of thing. And he wasn't even close, man. He wasn't even close. He's either throwing it and totally missing, and he's 6 feet over their head, and they got no shot to catch it, or this happened a lot today. He would see it super late, so by the time he'd throw the ball, the receiver's getting crushed by a DB. And it's like, he ain't going to catch that ball, man. Like, throw the damn thing earlier. So he was just horrendous. And this is when I started to, because like I was saying, Billy was kind of starting to win me back, and I'm jumping ship again. What caused me to say I'm done with this, man, is, again, it's not that they would have come back and win the game. That's not really what it's about. But the fact that you're down 35-0 at halftime, 35-0 at halftime, with a quarterback that can't complete a forward pass, and you're gonna let him trot back out there and get the second half, and ultimately finish the game. What a slap in the face, man. Like, what a slap in the face to the rest of the roster, the fan base that's watching. That tells me you didn't think you had a chance to win this game, and you don't care to even try to win this game. It's not that you were going to, but you got to show me that it matters to you a little bit. And by trotting out Aiden Warner back there to start the second half, you show me you don't give a damn, because you walked into this game knowing you were going to lose. And, of course, Aiden Warner immediately in the second half just hands the ball over again, and they go right down the field and score. We're even worse than where we started. Unbelievable.
I got a DJ Lagway update from Billy Napier.
Okay.
Quote, got better each day, a little better with each opportunity. I do think he felt as probably good as he's felt since the injury in pregame, but not quite ready. I think you're risking putting him out there with a soft tissue injury, but we're hopeful he's going to make some progress. Wow, who'd have thought he'd ever say that?
That was good. That was a good impression.
Yeah, well, I listen to him every single Sunday morning forcefully because I have to do this. Because I got to cut up the audio for everybody at 1010XL to listen to it on Monday. The worst part about watching this game, especially in the second half once it got really ugly, was Texas leaving their starters in there, still making plays. Sark having no urgency to pull his guys, even though his right tackle got hurt, even though his punt returner got hurt, who's a playmaker. And I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, this is what every Florida fan wants their team to be doing. They want their team to be playing somebody good, and they want their team to be up 42-0 and not giving a damn about what everybody else is thinking.
No mercy. Step on the throats. Keep it going. Rub it in. Every successful coach in the University of Florida history has been that type of personality and attitude. And, man, let me tell you, Dylan, to break down the game, because we're probably not going to break down this game all that much in terms of specifics, because there ain't much to break down. Facebook user, we appreciate you, brother. Love listening to you guys. You're not homers. You tell it like it is. We appreciate you. And, yeah, Dylan sounds just like, dude, he is, man. That was a good impression. I'm impressed. I lost my train of thought. Talking about sorry. There's not much breaking the game down, but there's one play I want to point out, and it was in the first half. And to me, this was when the game went from the bad game that it was always going to be to really, really, really gross and ugly. And what the hell am I watching type of game. One play kind of pushed them over the edge. So it's 14-0, and Florida gets the ball back after Georgia's second touchdown, and they start moving the ball. They're running the ball well. They're Ball and Jackson, nice 1-2 punch. They're getting 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. They're moving down the field, right? And any passes on that drive were kind of short, little dink and dunk things that probably you or I could have completed. But for the most part, they're just running the ball downhill, and they're starting to get Texas's defensive line on their heels a little bit. You can tell that defensive front's getting a little tired, getting a little mojo. Offensive line starting to push a little bit, and I'm thinking okay, maybe it's started slow, tough start, but maybe they start to fight back and start to look competitive again and start to look like at least they belong in the same field type of thing. Get a couple touchdowns, who knows? It's 3rd and 4. It was Texas 30 or something like that. It's 3rd and 4. Florida's got the ball. Again, running the ball downhill. They're getting downhill every single play. And they go empty with Aiden Warner and try to throw the ball down the field. When the offensive line had struggled to pass block a lot of the day, but they were run blocking really well. And your quarterback has shown an ability to do positively nothing the entire game. What the hell is that? is 3rd and 4. You got a third-string quarterback that can't do anything, but you're running the ball really well. You're moving the ball. Run the ball on 3rd down. If you don't get it, then either kick the field goal or go for it on 4th by running the ball again. I mean, it was just driving me crazy. Like, what in the world made Billy Napier believe that the right decision there was to throw the ball in an empty set? If you're going to throw the ball, at least give me a misdirection or play action or something to try to catch him off guard. If you tell the defense Aiden Warner's throwing the ball before the play, he's throwing a pick or he's getting sacked. I got news for you. He's not doing anything consequential. So what the hell was that, man? And it just goes back to, and this was, again, this is part of why I'm coming back to the good side of things, which is we got to get rid of this guy. Again, it's shown up so many times in his tenure, and it's shown up again. Billy Napier's inability to have an in-game feel and understand the vibe of the game and where it's going and what needs to be called next based on what the defense doesn't want you to do. He is incapable of doing that. Whenever there is a time and place in a game that the Gators have a defense on their heels and have an ability to do a certain thing that the other defense coordinator is praying they don't do, he does some other buffoonery instead. And he's done it since his first year, and it's just head-scratching, and I can't wrap my mind around it. And I don't know that guy ever figures it out and eventually becomes a championship caliber coach.
All right, so this is more of what I wanted to get to. I mean, you kind of – it was an ass beating. That's kind of just the way you have to put this game. There's no breaking this down. So Scott Strickland came out with that announcement, or whatever that was, a PR presser Thursday about Napier coming back, and then we get the word yesterday that Todd Golden and the bad accusations that have came out against him came out yesterday. So this kind of shows me, man, like, one, Strickland knew that that story was going to drop. He wanted to get ahead of the Napier stuff. And regardless of what happens these next couple of weeks, like, it doesn't matter because Billy Napier's not going anywhere. There's too much going on with the president, with the AD, because Strickland showed you that he still runs the program, the athletic program. Jeez, this is bad. By the way, I know you can't see this. Ole Miss first drive throws a pick. Dart rolls his ankle, and Georgia goes down, scores 7-0, and Dart's not even in the game. So wow. that was short-lived. But I started the show that we did Thursday right after the announcement that Napier's come back. I'm like, what's the point of having this announcement? Now it's like, okay, now this makes sense. And now with everything around, it's like I had the opinion that there's no point of having this early because you still have a whole month of football to be played. But with everything else that's going on around the Florida athletic programs, like, Napier's not going anywhere.
No, there's no shot, man. And it's more so the president issue, I think, than anything. Because I think the golden stuff, if you had a president with a spine, or if you had Jalen, funny comment, if you had a president with a spine or an AD with a spine, then swift moves across the board would be made right now, right? I mean, you're coming off of a week where Todd Golden showed that he's the horniest man in the state of Florida and beyond, and is doing some stuff, and a more serious note, is doing some stuff that's not okay.
Allegedly, these are all allegations.
Yeah, allegedly, if it's true. If that stuff turns out to be factually proven true, oof, that's real bad stuff he's being accused of. But anyways, you have a week where that's going on, and now you have a week where you get completely blown out by Texas. You get completely outclassed and shown you don't belong on the same field. With a lot of injuries, I get it, but they didn't even belong the same. A lot of these guys being healthy wouldn't have made much of a difference today. And I know Lagway, that would have been more competitive, obviously, but come on, man. Like, You think they're still not getting blown out with that? Honestly, Dylan, I was kind of thinking this late in the game with how ugly it was. Tell me if you agree with this. Napier's lucky Lagway didn't play. Because if Lagway had played, they'd have still gotten the absolute crap kicked out of them. They would have still gotten destroyed. And he wouldn't have had the Lagway excuse. Right? So I would tend to believe because of that, they might not play him, to your point. I don't even know if his hamstring's right. I don't really know. Anyways, they might not even play him until I bet he'll play Florida State, if I had to guess. I think that's probably what's going to happen now. He'll play Florida State, but he'll be out until then. But, yeah, anyways, if you had leadership with a spine after the football program got outclassed by Texas, after Todd Golden did his stuff, there'd be a total cleaning of house today. And we would wake up Monday morning or Tuesday, whichever day we'll end up doing our show this week, talking about a new football and new basketball coach. But because of the peril that's above them, I agree with you that ain't nothing going to happen, especially to Billy Napier.
No, not at all. And we'll just enjoy the ride. And, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's picking up any traction recruiting. I know right after that statement was dropped, it seems like Tremel Jones, the kid in our backyard, Ole Miss, just tied the game 7-7. That he's going to flip from Florida State to Florida, which is, for whatever reason, man, Napier knows how to recruit. And I know he doesn't have a good recruiting class now, but he knows how to get through these kids and can talk to them and these kids listen to him. I don't know how. I don't know what you sell. I don't know how you can sell something when the product you're trying to sell is not good. But he's doing it. And again, for the people that don't know, the schedule is much harder next year. You play the same exact schedule, except you flipped home and away with all the games this year, and you drop UCF and you add USF. So it's not like it's going to get any easier.
I think it's going to be an issue next year, Dylan, is like, they got to go to Kentucky next year. Is that a guaranteed game? Hell no, it's not.
No.
Hell no, it's not. They got to go to Coral Gables next year. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be because Cam Ward's going to be gone, and I think they're going to take a huge step back. By the way, shout out Georgia Tech, giving me something to be happy about on this Saturday in the college football world. But, man, like, I thought back to something you said last week, Dylan, when it got late in this game. And it helped me. I appreciate you helping me, bringing me back to the correct side of things.
The right side.
You said last week when we were talking about when we were talking about the statement coming out with Strickland and everything, we reacted live to that. You said Billy Napier has shown you nothing in 2.5 years that tells you that at any point he is going to become a championship caliber coach, and he's going to have his rosters competing for SEC and national championships, and that's always been the standard, right? Scott Strickland has said that is the standard. I mean, you're going to win it every year. I mean, you're going to go undefeated every year and anything like that. But year in, year out, you need to be in the conversation for teams that can go do those things. And you said it the other day, and I did agree, I disagreed, and now I agree again. This dude's never going to get there. He's never going to get there. Like, what he could be, they could give him to year 9, and he's not going to get there. It's not going to happen. What in what world is a guy that doesn't know how to call plays to save his life, doesn't have his special teams prepared, has 12 men on the field, has bad special team snaps, has procedural problems before, not as much this year, to be fair, but when is that guy going to figure it out? He's never going to.
No, when you're an offensive coach and you put up a dud like you did in week 1, that speaks so much volumes.
In year three. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The returning quarterback, Mertz was healthy that week. Like, dude. And, like, part of it, too, Dylan, and it's, part of my reasoning the last couple of weeks for why I've been like, maybe we should reconsider this was the young guys playing well. Jaden Baugh coming in, making plays. Jacoby Jackson coming in, making plays. Aiden Mizell has been doing some things here and there, like Cormani McClain, like young guys coming in, Aaron Gates, young guys coming in and doing stuff has been a big reason where I've been like, all right, like you're starting to build a young good nucleus here. Let's see what the future looks like. That, honestly, if you look at it a different way, you could look at that as even a bigger indictment on Billy Napier, because how many of those guys were even given a chance to make any plays against Texas A&M and Miami? Jaden Baugh got no snaps in those games. Jacoby Jackson got almost nothing in those games. That was the Montrell Johnson and Graham Mertz show. And you knew you had Lagway's ability to throw the ball down the field like that. You knew you had Aiden Mizell and his speed. You knew you had Jaden Baugh in the special back that he clearly is. You knew you had Jacoby Jackson who could make some plays. And, yeah, Sean, I did let Hacker get to me. I love the man, but I did. You're right. It's fair. Sean, I'll shake your hand, brother. That's correct. I let Hack get to me.
I would never. And I work with him every night.
Yeah, Dylan spends every night with him, bro. But the fact that these guys are clearly good and can play is an even bigger indictment, because it forces you to beg the question. This game, I get it, was a little different, but the A&M Miami games, when you didn't have all these injuries, when Lagway and Mertz were both healthy, Jason Marshall was healthy, Eugene Wilson wasn't healthy against A&M, but against Miami was healthy. What if you had played Jaden Baugh? What if you had played Jacoby Jack? What if Aaron Gates was playing instead of DJ Douglas against A&M? Like, dude, you could have won these games.
At least been in.
This guy is incompetent, and he can't figure that out. That's the whole Aiden Warner thing. Like, the fact that you didn't give somebody else a shot in the second half is insane. It doesn't mean he's going to do anything, but it means, like, you got to prove that you believe, like the rest of us do, the way Aiden Warner played in the first half is not acceptable at the University of Florida. I mean, come on, man.
This is year 3 for Napier. And at the same time he was hired, Brian Kelly was hired. Lincoln Riley was hired. I think there was another big-time job. Brent Venables went to Oklahoma. Marcus Freeman went to Notre Dame. There was a couple others. And I was thinking, if all those teams right now played at Texas, and even just say they had a couple injuries, how would they look? And for most of those teams, it would not look that bad.
No, and
that's the biggest indictment that I have, man.
To be fair, though, I think you have to also say, how would they look if they had their third string quarterback in? To be fair,
yeah, it's true.
But I still don't think they would look that bad, though.
No.
Like, you got to add that context, but I still don't think they look that bad. Like, Dylan, like, you got to understand, man, like, as someone that has been I wouldn't say I've been championing the side to keep him, but has been sort of maybe somewhat supporting it. I went into this game with an open mind, understanding they were going to lose by double digits.
Yeah, and everybody did.
I went into this game fully prepared to do this podcast with you and say, look, man, they had their third string quarterback. What did you expect? I expected a secondary to not make it look like Texas was playing on freshman mode in NCAA 25. I mean, it looked like Florida's DBs were playing with 9 guys on the field. I mean, they figured something out and stuff in the run, and they're getting to quarterbacks a little bit better on the defensive line, and the linebackers are playing well, and that's positive. But we talked about this week about this game. We said, look, like, defense has been playing better, but they haven't really played a team that can really push the ball down the field like that, and Texas can, and they're going to test them. By the way, it was that ugly, and Florida was lucky on a couple of different possessions and throws. There were a couple of times where, I mean, Texas had a pretty easy touchdown in the end zone they dropped, a couple other wide open passes that either Ewers missed or the receiver dropped. Like, it could have been even worse in the first half. It could have been 42-0 easy in the first half. So we had talked about in this past week being a little worried about that. And I was really hoping to be proven wrong, and I was really hoping to see that the entire defense, not just the front 7, had really turned a page. I was very wrong about that. So that sucks. Adrian says, OU got blown out by Texas in the same manner. I know you just put that up. Yeah, they did. OU's in trouble, too. I don't think Venables is going to survive. So.
Yep. So I didn't see if Napier said anything, at least on the Twitterverse. Guys like Graham Hall and Nick Delatorre, people that were at the game. They didn't say anything else about what Napier said, so I'm sure he didn't say anything interesting. He always gives you about a 15.
But he always says stuff that's interesting.
Yeah.
He's such a fun guy, you know.
Who's more fun, Doug Peterson or Billy Napier?
But like, I just saw Dylan. Look, I think if Napier was really cut for it like that as a play caller, which is obviously not, this game, I think they'd have run a ton of wildcat and they'd have maybe not even thrown a single pass all game, because that's the only thing that was successful. They'd have tried to figure out a creative way to do that instead of just sitting out here and trotting out Aiden Warner and pretending he's going to do anything. That was so embarrassing, man. Like how you could logically think that was your best plan of attack. It's just unbelievable. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, the game started and Texas went like 3 plays for like 40 yards. I'm like, it's going to be one of those games. And then they stop them, hold them to a field goal, and they miss him. Like, okay. Like you can at least be in this game at half. No. 35-0. 35-0 about an hour later. And, yeah, I don't know if it gets any easier, man, these next 2 weeks if you're going to trot out the kind of performance you did. I mean, as well as they played against Georgia, man, you were coming off a bye, and when you lose games like that, when you're really close and you feel like you played really well, it's hard to come back the following week. And I'm not saying that that's excusable for what they put out today, but it's hard to come back with another performance like that and do it again. That usually doesn't happen from a team that's a severe underdog. I mean, they were 21-point underdogs, and I don't bet, but I significantly I was like, man, I wouldn't put $100 on this game because there's no way Florida's going to cover this 21 points.
Yeah, they were clearly going to lose by double digits, but 49-17 is aggressive. And by the way, Texas kneeled the ball out with a minute left. They could have easily gone and scored a touchdown. It really could have easily been 56-17, if not more. I mean, if Texas truthfully wanted to, they could have easily hung 60 plus.
Yeah,
easily.
Minimum.
And again, I know that I've been a guy that's been kind of supporting the last couple of weeks. I can't support that. I know you have injuries. I understand. Everybody's got injuries. Florida has injuries that are, I think, a lot worse than the average program right now. Like, they've been really stricken bad this year. I get that, and I'm willing to understand that. But being an SEC team that calls yourself a program that expects to have championship level SEC and national championship level expectations, allowing a team to be in a game where they could have hung 60 on you if they wanted, that's not acceptable. In year 3, that's not acceptable. There's nothing about that that's acceptable. There's nothing about that that says this guy needs to continue to be my coach. Nothing whatsoever. And in the press conference, to your point, he's ho-hum and, we got to do this. So we've seen some Shut up, dude. You need to go out there and be pissed. You need to go out there and say, this is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Everybody should be embarrassed. And we're going to have to make some decisions on certain guys that can't play anymore, like Aiden freaking Warner. I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but good God. It's just, God, it's embarrassing, man. And this regime and this athletic administration is just putting up with losing. Everybody here, the Gator standard has been lowered. The Gator standard is not what you have come to think of the Gator standard as is not. It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. Just the truth.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm over talking about this. I kind of want to watch the programs, and you can go back to wherever you are, deep in an alley on the west side of Jacksonville, and
St. Augustine, baby. Got some wedding stuff to do.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting.
Dude, we did cake tasting this morning. It was delicious, bro.
Yeah.
We tried 8 different types of cakes. All of them were pretty good. One of the favorite ones was Florida native.
Now, do you know what hairstyle you're going to have for your wedding, or is Mal going to pick that for you?
I think I'm buzzing it. It, dyeing it pink.
2 guard.
Yeah.
One or two guard.
No, I'll probably have about this. But probably a little longer. If I had to guess.
Sick.
I'll look real cute. My fiance did tell Dylan that she wants him to wear cornrows for our wedding though.
Cornrows.
Yeah, if you could grow that out.
Be like that one rapper, God bless, what's his name? Wow, that's gonna bother me.
A white guy with cornrows?
Yes. Bro, hang on, man. We cannot.
Are you about a riff-raff?
Yes, that's
Riff-raff?
him. Thank you. Be like riff-raff, pulling up with silver teeth.
Going in my Jordan.
God bless. All right. We'll give y'all a show Tuesday. Billy Napier is going to say exciting things Monday. We'll react to it. And whatever the hell's going to happen in Gainesville, we'll give it to you somehow. So,
well, luckily, too, the, at least the basketball program has nothing controversial going on. And they're just a good, solid program with good leadership. And that's all spick and span, right?
And baseball starts in February.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen with is Sully going to turn out to be a serial killer or something at this rate? Like, come on, man. This is ridiculous, dude. Can one good thing ever happen for the Florida Gators? God damn, dude.
All right. I'll see y'all Tuesday.
Peace.